all Hollywood's couples. Fans wanted Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie to stay together as Hollywood's charmed couple. But of course, they announced that they're getting a divorce. No word yet if they will split custody of all of those children. So now they are in the dating world, and dating after 40 is a whole different game. Dating expert Jennifer Stiers has some tips if you're facing the prospect of dating after 40. Sometimes it can look really intimidating. First of all, Jennifer, you are one of Match.com's 10 top matchmakers. What's that mean?
They just chose me along with 10 other matchmakers and relationship experts in the U.S. that represent, online dating and dating in general.
So you know a little bit about this.
A little bit.
So right off the top, especially women think, I don't look like I did when I was 30 or 35. What do you tell them?
Well, I mean, the good news is we're older and wiser, but it's important to look our best. So especially if you're getting out of a relationship or a marriage and you find yourself single again, or if you're just single, we need to put our best face forward. So that may mean, going and getting that makeover, doing what we need to, whether it's teeth whitening or that new updated hairstyle or clothing, so that we are competitive in a market that is very, very competitive.
Because it's very picture oriented these days.
Very picture oriented.
Swipe it, swipe right, whatever. It
always
reality.
is a very visual oriented society.
You're back on the dating scene. Is online the best place to start? Because that's where a lot of people go.
It's a great place to start. I think that that when people get out there, they've been out of the dating scene for a while. They don't know what's out there. They've had one partner for their whole life. Getting on online dating kind of gets your feet wet. So it's a good place to get your feet wet, to learn about, who's out there, who you can date. Just getting comfortable on a date with somebody else, like with a different energy and a different person, is a fabulous way to start. It may not be long-term finding love, but it's a great place to get your feet wet again.
And we're going to talk about some of the places that you think are good places to look other than online in just a second. But first of all, let's look at this. It seems like the older you get, to a lot of people, you feel like the less your odds get. I know you believe that you can find someone out there. So what's the first step for a woman or a man for that matter, who's over 40? You've talked about a checklist.
Well, it's important. The checklist would be an internal checklist. We have to know, if we're going to get back out in the dating scene, we need to know who we are. So we need to go through, who am I? What do I bring to the table? What are my values? What are my lifestyle choices? What am I looking for in a partner? What are the things that I need? What's my love language? I mean, just understanding what we need in a relationship is really, really important. There is somebody for everybody, but we need to know who that is before we get out there.
So you have to
before we get out there.
So you have to know yourself first. Okay, so let's say you know yourself. Then, where you said online is not always the place to look. Where do you look? It's not easy.
You look everywhere. That's the answer. I mean, really, love is everywhere, and so it's important that you keep your eyes open, that you make sure you look your best wherever you go, that if you're heading out to the grocery store, that you are in your makeup, you're not in your grungies with no makeup on. You never know where you're going to meet somebody, but there are things like dinner clubs if you're a foodie, activities like if you're into spinning or bicycling or anything like that. There's groups available for that. So find lifestyle interests, and that's important. And also things like, I have a singles trip that I do. I do them quarterly, but this one happens to be a beach trip, and we're bringing together singles that want to learn more about themselves, want to find what's stopping them from finding love, and also to be able to mingle with singles.
And I know you told me that in fact a lot of people from your last trip ended up dating.
They did, a lot of them,
because they got to spend the time together.
It's that intimate time together, a small group of people, intimate time together. You get to know each other, unlike you would in a normal dating environment. Yeah.
Okay, couple of final things. Going to a bar, you've said, is not a great way to meet people unless it's happy hour.
Unless it's happy hour.
So what's the deal with that?
Well, I think between the hours of like 5 and 6:30, you'll see a lot of professionals out. They're not hanging out in bars, but they've gone out to have a drink with their colleagues after work. It's a great time to meet quality people that aren't bar people or aren't into excessive amounts of alcohol.
And finally, Facebook.
Facebook. It's kind of the new online dating thing. I love Facebook from the standpoint of it gives people a lot of information about you. Like if you're interested in somebody, you can go check them out. You can go find out what their likes, what their dislikes are. Lots of pictures. So that's why it's so important to keep that Facebook or Twitter, whatever your profiles are, really clean with pictures you want people to see that put your best foot forward. But people are getting a lot of information from Facebook nowadays. So just make sure that it accurately represents who you are.
Okay, and the best news is you're an expert at it, and you say that it's hopeful. Don't lose hope.
It's totally hopeful. I mean, there is somebody for everybody. The more we come into this knowing who we are, the better chance we will have of finding somebody.
Okay, thanks, Jen. Appreciate you coming in today. You can go to lovejen.com to find out more about dating and finding true love.